So, hi everyone, I'm Valentin. I'm the head of growth at community at Bridger, a new online solution disrupting copyright management for artists. So to understand what we do, you have to understand the situation of DIY creators. So when you are a DIY artist, you have three main activities that you perform at the same time. You write the instrumental part and the lyrics of your songs, so that makes you a songwriter. You are also responsible for producing the master, so you are a producer. And depending on the type of music that you're going to be making, from time to time, you're going to be performing one or several instruments, you're going to sing. So that makes you a performer. And because of all these three activities, it means that you can receive different types of royalty streams. One of the big challenges is that sometimes they forget DIY creators to consider themselves as a songwriter or a producer or a performer. And it becomes super interesting when you have a look at the digital ecosystem. So when a DIY creator wants to be on Spotify or Apple Music, they're going to put their music through a digital distributor. One big problem, digital distributors, they only pay the royalties on the master sides. So the remuneration as a performer or as a producer. If these DIY creators want to get their copyright royalties, they have to be affiliated with a CMO or a PR or an entity like Bridger. And here is the second big problem. Very often, DIY creators, they see themselves as producers, as performers, but they forget to see themselves as songwriters. And they're going to be missing half the royalties that they should be getting for their streams, the royalties that they deserve as songwriters. And this is a very specific and problematic situation in the music industry, because every year there are approximately 600 million euros that are not distributed to the right songwriters, either because they are not affiliated, because they don't know they have to affiliate, because they don't consider themselves as songwriters, or because there is an inconsistent set of metadata. The metadata are lacking. And this is where Bridger is coming into play. We want to help DIY creators, DIY artists, to collect their copyright royalties. So we focus on simplicity and accessibility. Simplicity because the whole process is 100% online. We take them by the hand. We explain to them all the complex industry terms that can be sometimes confusing, like what are performance royalties, mechanical royalties, what does it mean, how do you get them? And also because in just a few clicks, in just a few minutes, you can register with us very large repertoires, 200, 300, 1,000 tracks, and we can start collecting your copyright royalties. And how we do that is basically, as a creator, you simply have to copy paste the link of your Spotify or DSP profile. We're going to fetch your track, the metadata. You're going to have to tell us if you have created these songs alone. And very often, if we speak about DIY creators, they do write the songs alone, so they own 100% of the rights. So they just click on apply this sharing to to all my tracks, and we start collecting the royalties in just like 2-3 minutes. We also want to remove all the potential entry barriers that you can have as a DIY creator. So at Bridger, we believe that you shouldn't pay more than what you can get. So basically, we have designed a copyright collection system that is free to use. So there are no registration fees, no yearly fees, and the creators keep 90% of their earnings. So we've created this slide where you can see like some of the most reputable PROs or CMOs. And as you can see, we are the cheapest. And we really want to make it that way because we think that you shouldn't pay more than what you could get. I mentioned the key thing at the beginning of the presentation, which is that very often creators, independent artists, or artists in general lack the industry knowledge that they should have in order to take the best possible decisions for their careers and in order to be able to receive all the royalties that they should get. And we focus on education, we focus on empowerment through education. So if you go on our Instagram page, if you visit our blog, or in the future, some other channels like YouTube, you will see that we provide high quality, in-depth content that is vulgarized so that we can give the right knowledge to the creators so that they understand the importance of copyright, royalties, and how they should be getting them. So Bridger is already available for artists everywhere in the world. As of now, we focus on collecting copyright royalties on the streaming platforms, so Deezer, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. But we do not want to limit ourselves to that type of royalty collection. In the future, we are, of course, going to be offering royalty collection on TV, on radio, live shows, and all the traditional channels that you can imagine. And we're also developing a very specific solution for publishers to meet their specific requirements. So we are Bridger. You can find us online on rightsbridger.com. You can contact us at any time if you've got any questions at hello@rightsbridger.com. And as of now, we're recruiting, we're growing. And so we have a lot of positions available that you can see on our LinkedIn page. So we would be happy to hear from you if you're looking for a new adventure in the music industry. Thank you very much.
You guys have got these elevator pitches down. That was also exactly 5 minutes. Love that. I would love to ask some questions. If anyone else has questions, drop it over in the comments area. And I have a question to start off with. So really, what is the most common kind of misconceptions when it comes to, copyright? One, it sounds like is, that people are not sure even like how to go about collecting their copyright. What are some things that people usually have trouble with or have concerns or confusion about?
Well, the most the most important element that very often when you speak to creators, they don't even know that there is money related to streaming next to the distributor. So they think that what they're getting from DistroKid is 100% of the streaming royalties, and they don't even know that there is another half that they should be getting. And so this is the key thing, like explaining to them the different types of royalties that you can get when you make music on your own, and saying, okay, there is something next to DistroKid, and you're missing on that, and you're losing money right now.
That makes total sense. I think very few people would know that there's something beyond their distribution. Thinking about what's next. So right now you said you guys are focusing on streaming.
Yep.
So after that, the other areas that you're thinking about sounds like potentially like the sync areas. How much of a market is that? What's being lost over there, or what do you estimate is being lost on that side of things?
So it's not something, I don't have numbers as of now. And so at the beginning, we're really going to focus on collecting the royalties. So we're not going to be offering, for example, sync opportunities to businesses or creators like video creators. So we're simply going to first collect the royalties on TV and radio channels.
Yes, that makes total sense. And so in terms of the collection of royalties from those spaces, how much do you think is being lost for people, thinking about your independent creators? How much are they losing out on that side of things potentially?
So usually, if you take what you receive from your digital distributor, you take 20%, 25% of that, and these are the copyright royalties that you're missing.
Great. Okay, that makes total sense. I think that's all the questions we have. Antti, he mentioned that he works for a Finnish PRL, so it's really interesting to see. Hopefully you guys can have an opportunity to chat and discuss some more because, a rising tide lifts all ships, Great. And thank you so much. I am going to invite our next startup to the stage.
Thank you.
Thank you.